home renovations, maximum rate of return. What's the best thing that somebody can do to get the maximum rate of return on their house?
Well, my inclination is borne out by this article that you brought, and that is upgrade your landscaping. And it's interesting. You're talking about right on the top here. You got this article talking about the top 4 things that you can do, and the first one is upgrade your landscaping, and that is absolutely true. The interesting thing is they're talking about how much you need to invest, and if you're willing to do the work, physical work yourself, this return of investment of 105% is very light, because once you own the tools to trim your bushes,
it's easy.
All it's going to cost you is your weekend, and pulling the weeds is only going to cost you your time. I mean, maybe you're going to go down and buy some Roundup, and you might spend $5 or $10 on a bottle of Roundup, but your return on investment is going to be huge. Right. It's going to be absolutely huge. If you're willing to do some of the work yourself, I would say that this 105% return on investment must be if you pay a professional to do it. The second thing that I would do if you're going to sell your home to get a good return on investment is repaint your front door.
Okay.
And that's something that you can just do.
What other than it's the focal point, that's the first thing, or I guess one of the first things that people see when they're coming in, once they're out of the car, walking up the sidewalk, boom, you're at the front door. But what is it about the front door?
It sets the tone.
Okay.
It sets the tone. Even though you may never use your front door, when someone comes to see your house to buy it, they're going through the front door the first time.
Okay.
So number 2 they've got on here is replace your roof. And so there's a couple of things that I'll say about that. The first thing is, if you get some kind of wind damage to your roof and you get an insurance adjustment for that and you take the money and you don't put the new roof on, you are really hurting yourself. Do it. Don't not do it.
Right.
Think, well, I can live with it. It's not leaking, because later on you're going to have to pay for that out of pocket because you already got paid for it.
Exactly. The next thing on the list is hardwood floors, upgrading the floors.
Yeah, and that definitely brings a nice return on investment. And, some of these things you have to remember, if you do, and you're going to live, you're not planning on moving, you just want to do it.
Right.
And you're going to live in the house for a couple more years or whatever. You get to enjoy it too. And the next one is deck and patio, the return on investment that you get out of that. And that, that's pretty close to dollar for dollar, if not better. It really is, the timing has to be right. And if you don't maintain it, it's not going to mean much. You put a deck in the back of your house, you spend $5,000, put a deck in the back of your house, and then don't maintain it and then try to sell your house 7 years later, you're not going to get a nickel for it.
But it all comes back to that appearance. That first 7 seconds when they look at it, if it just pops and it's like, wow, that's sharp.
Yeah. And people ought to try to create a situation where they're thinking about the long-term maintenance. And try to use materials that are appropriate for the region that we're in.